Hi, welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse. Well, it doesn't say Age of Apocalypse, but that's what this is supposed to be. The Nightcrawler. And this is my first Nightcrawler that I've had. Again, I'm not a huge Marvel Legends fan, but I do pick some up. And even though it's been a long time and I vaguely remember the Age of Apocalypse, I absolutely loved it as a kid. Actually, as a teenager / moving into adulthood. Age of Apocalypse, I think it was an awesome way they did it. So now that they are starting to drop just individual figures, no waves, I gotta pick them all up. So here he is. We're gonna take a look at him. He's got two different faces. He's got the gray outfit with black, a sword, a couple different hands. And then he also has the Build-A-Figure of the Nemesis, which I am not interested in. So I'm basically going to have two different pieces, one from Gambit and then from Nightcrawler. So here we go. We're taking a look at them. There's this artwork on the side and on the back there. We get to see a little bit more than the cross out. But anyway, let's get into this because I'm definitely excited to get this open. See how he moves, and I think I might have to start picking up some new flight stands or some extra flight stands for some of these figures that fly or jump, hover, levitate, whatever. Anyway, let's get into this. But before we do, if you like this type of stuff, you like when I drop a Marvel Legends review, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something such as this. Alright, so we got him out of his plastic prison, and as I like to do, I like to look at the accessories first. So first off, we're going to look at, he has a, I think this is a gripping hand, so this should be for the sword. So he has to be able to grip the sword, right? Why give him one if you're not going to be able to grip it? And then we have a punching three-fingered hand, and again, it looks pretty good. He's clearly wearing some sort of glove over it. Alright, so it doesn't look bad at all. And then, of course, he has a punching hand for the left. And it would have been nice to have two grip hands, but maybe we can get it in that hand there. So here we have the sword. We always like to look, especially with Hasbro, the straightness factor. And again, it does look pretty straight there. It does have some bend to it, but as you can see, it pops right back to where it needs to be. It's no longer super soft like a lot of the stuff was. And it's almost like, I think it might even be so thin in some spots you can kind of see. I'm not sure if you can see through it. Maybe it's just the camera angle. But anyway, nice little detail on the sword. It's got the nice little groove inside there. And then you get down to where I believe this handle is painted. And this is actually the color of the plastic. But you look at that grip there. It's got the little guard right there and the guard up here. And just got a little bit of notches on it, just giving it some depth. And again, I'm glad they didn't just do all one color. Got some paint rub there, so I think I'll probably remove that because that looks absolutely awful. Like, that's just bad, but not the worst thing in the world. But again, I think they'd be able to avoid some of that. So now we'll take a look at this angry face, which I think is awesome because look, I got an angry Sonya, so maybe these two have to go together in some pictures, right? So looking at him here, he's just got the red devil eyes. You can see his eyebrows. They look like they're in a good place here. Let's lift these glasses up. So he has the red all through it. And I'm trying to see, it doesn't look like any of it hit the eyebrow, which is nice. You got some individual teeth right there. You got the tongue hanging out there. And then you got this wonderful hair just kind of flowing through. Now, there are shades of blue through it, which I'm going to say is how it's supposed to be. So it's more like that jet black hair that has just the blue tints through it. But it really does look like it's real. Well, as real as an action figure can be. You got his Spock ears right there. A nice chin. Nose looks good. So I think so far the angry head actually looks pretty good. I don't mind a yelling face. Just I don't want an only yelling face because it doesn't make too much sense. So here we have the actual figure, and we'll take a look at everything. So quickly we'll start off with the stoic face. And you can see where that, is it a scar or a tattoo? But either way, it doesn't go through the eyebrow. And here he has the yellow eyes compared to the devil eyes right there. You can see his lips have a little bit of paint on it. And I don't think that there's any wash on the face per se, but the way that it just kind of divots in there, the way that it shadows, it does give it a little bit of it makes it look like it's painted a little different, even though it's not. And then the hair is the exact same. All right, you're gonna get a little bit of blue tint right at the top there. As for his suit, he has the classic style Nightcrawler suit. Here we have our little shoulder, they're not really pauldrons. This, oh my god, this looks like what the Cobra Twins. And when I say Cobra Twins, I mean Rex and Rod from Rad were wearing. Like, oh my god, dude, this looks like the suit from when they're bicycling boogling. So someone please, oh my god, someone's gonna have to do a custom of those of this. Anyway, and if you know what I'm talking about, the movie Rad, BMX movie from the 80s, absolutely awesome. But anyway, this looks really good here. You can see the cut down here. He's got the X symbol for the X Factor. Some nice detail in the arms, and it goes into the glove. And has like this this moon right here. And they do put like little notches through it, just kind of lines running through it. So I think that looks pretty good. Going all the way down, and again, there's not too much to a Marvel Legends, to be 100% honest. He does have the 3 fingers, and I have a feeling he might be able to hold the sword in that hand, and all the way down to his little 2 toes, and he has the back piece. Obviously, they have a nice, they have the peg, so if you need to use a stand. But even the boots are cut the same as the gloves here. And then on the back here, we're going to get his tail, which can move up and down. It would have been nice if this was on a wire, so you could do different things with it. As we know, the tail has been known to do things, but at least we can kind of move it around to make it go up and down like that. Maybe I need to move this up just a little bit so I can pull them back. So you can move it up here. So you can at least get something to make it look a little bit different. As for the articulation on the figures, he can look up that far, and then he can't look down at all. He literally can only look straight, which is just the opposite of most action figures. Side to side, nice T-pose. You got your bicep cut, double pinless joints. Again, no heat have I used on this. All right, and then you got your wrists that are going to go in and out. Spins around. At his waist, this is what people absolutely hate. They like what G.I. Joe does, how it kind of cups inside of it so you don't have this weird break. And I'm with everyone 100%. Like, they should really do what G.I. Joe does to make that go underneath. He's got the ab crunch that he can look that far down, and he can look that far up. As for Jean-Claude Van Damme, he goes that far. They do not have drop-down hips like the G.I. Joe Classified and some other action figures. I don't mind that. I think this is perfectly fine and acceptable. He can go up that far, so if he wants to sit down. He's got the thigh cut right there. Double pinless knees. All right. You got your ankle rockers, so it can move. He can move up and down. But no boot cut. I know some people don't care about the boot cut, but you really do get a lot more articulation when you have that boot cut. There is absolutely no doubt about it. So, before I start changing out the hands, let's see if I can take this sword. And you can't, maybe you can't. I mean, you'd have to flip it like that. So he technically can hold the sword on that hand, but then the blade is kind of all messed up. Might not bother some people, but there's no way that I'm going to be holding it or posing him like that at all. So, let's just get this hand off, which you can see exactly how easily that came out. And we definitely have to have this hand. And now we're going to throw this sword on. Maybe. Maybe not. I guess the other hand seems softer than this one, which might be good, might be bad. Once we get the sword in his hand, and you really got to pry that open to have enough time. See, with a thumb like that, man, this thing closes up really quickly. I mean, not the most well designed. I mean, it's literally a hand designed to hold the sword. So I think they could have made this a little bit better where the sword's going to cup in like that. So how easily can we stand? Let's move this up here. I'd assume he stands really easily considering he has those big old feet right there. So no problem there. As for the head, let's pop this head off. It's on the normal size head joint. I wish that G.I. Joe Classified was still doing that, but they went to a smaller one and they're like the only one. There's his angry face where he's ready to, he's sword fight. Now again, the wrist here, I probably should show this more often. That is made so he can definitely be sword fighting this way, which I really do like. As for getting him up on one foot, bend that knee. I think this guy might be really easy to get up. But then again, I could be completely wrong. Of course, I'm like totally lying. There he is. 1 foot, no problem at all. And actually, it's not a bad pose. I don't think that was... Well, I might stay up there for a little bit. I like the way the tail... I do like the fact that the tail can move in different spots. It just kind of rotates around, as you can kind of see there. All right. As we're getting him into like a lower position where you might think Nightcrawler is. I really wish his head had more articulation here. That is one thing I can say right away that he's definitely lacking. So, if you're new to the channel and you're wondering, hey, you know what, I've seen people do Marvel Legends, why don't you just pose it and then show me the picture? I like to show people exactly how difficult it might be to get a character, a figure into a pose that you might be looking for. Now here you could actually probably use the tail. So you can kind of get them crouching. Not the greatest, to be honest, but it does work. This guy might be someone who does benefit from having toe articulation, just the way that he moves. So anyway, there is your Nightcrawler, basically the AOA, but he is, I believe, X Factor. So he's going to have the sword, the angry face, and now let's wrap this up and go do some pictures so this review can get done. Okay, before I get yelled at and criticized, I was completely wrong. I said his head doesn't go down. It is sitting there on a joint, and he does look up. I completely messed that up. So before, and I hope, you know what? I hope if you were too impatient to wait throughout the whole thing to see if I made a mistake, that is on you. He does look up. Yeah, that looks kind of weird there. And he definitely does look it down, so that's not a problem. So be able to get him in some better poses, that is for sure. All right, so there you go. That is your Marvel Legends Age of Apocalypse, even though it doesn't say AOA. Nightcrawler, he's got the black and gray outfit, the sword. I think he looks really good. I think his sculpt is really good. And you kind of need a Nightcrawler. If you're doing Marvel Legends and you're doing X-Men, I guess you need a Nightcrawler. I just like to focus on having as many of the Age of Apocalypse as possible, and he's one of them. So anyway, is this one of the figures you're looking to pick up? Because if you are, I think he feels really good. I mean, the plastic feels real good. He is made out of the China plant. I was looking at his foot. Does say made in China somewhere there. So anyway, the sword, not the worst when it comes to accessories. They do the Build-A-Figure, 3 hands, 2 heads, and a sword. More than what we get with some of these figures, especially like the female figures, which use maybe a little bit less. They might even use a little bit less plastic because of how thin they are. But anyway, there he is. If you do need them, if you're interested, pick them up. All right, pick them up. 25 bucks, Amazon, or run over to your local toy store. Ask for it. I'm sure they're gonna have it. But I'm gonna get out of here. You stayed this long. It's time that you. What do you have to do? Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends. So now I'm gonna get out of here. But you know what? You saw them in the background. Right up here is gonna be the Gambit review, and down here will be the Marvel Legends playlist of all the figures that I reviewed. Take care.